Hi everyone, so if you're watching this video, I am assuming you are interested in joining my 12-week challenge and you're looking for a little bit more information on sort of what is included and what is it about. So when it comes to a 12-week challenge, I think a lot of people just automatically assume that it's something that's, very hardcore, very restrictive. 12 weeks, get the results, lose all of the weight, because everybody also assumes that it's just a weight loss challenge every time, and then after 12 weeks you're done, you can throw the towel in because that's all you need to do. Now, this is actually quite the opposite. I don't particularly agree with just those quick fix, hardcore 12-week, challenges, as we say. This for me is it's a lifestyle change challenge, and I like to think of it as more of a kickstart to creating healthier, long-term sustainable habits. At the end of this 12 weeks, I don't want you to just think that you have achieved the end goal and that your work is done and that's it, and I've just thrown everything at you. You've went Harry hard out, you've restricted everything, you've went from exercising from 0 days a week to 7 days a week, no rest, and you hit full burnout. I want to do the exact opposite of that. So basically what this is about, it's creating slower, sustainable, everyday changes that's going to benefit you in the long term. So what I do, I help guide you with new habits, new behaviors that help you to hit an overall goal. So too often when it comes to challenges, we have an overarching goal in our head. So for example, that could be to lose 10 kilos. Now, too often people focus solely on that outcome goal. So lose 10 kilos, but nobody thinks about the process to get there or those small behavior changes and wins that help you to get there. Now, it's great to have that overall goal. After all, that is why you are doing a challenge, because there's something that you want to achieve that is different in your life. But when you focus on it too much, you do forget about all those smaller things, and it can become quite overwhelming. If you feel like in 4 weeks you haven't hit that end goal, then you lose all motivation, and that's when people tend to throw the towel in. So instead of focusing on the outcome goal, the purpose of this challenge is to focus on those smaller wins in between. It's focusing on those 1% every day. What can you do every day to make you 1% better the next day, the next day, the next day? That's going to help you achieve that overall goal. So I like to call these more behavior outcomes. What behaviors do you choose to engage in every single day that's going to help you hit that overall goal of losing 10 kilos? For example, it could be your water intake, it could be your exercise level, it could be the nutrition side of things. There's so many different factors that go into hitting that overall goal. Now, with this challenge as well, I don't just give everybody sort of a generic target or goal to hit. So you do have your workout programs, but I'm going to help educate you based on choosing habits that work for you. So I've created lots of content and, in particular, a habit guidance sheet. So there's lists of different habits that you can choose, but it's not just the same for everybody. I don't just give you all the same thing to work on. I instead guide you and educate you to choose what you think is going to work for you and your lifestyle and your goal, because at the end of the day, not everybody has the same goal. Usually 9 times out of 10, people are going to jump on these sorts of challenges for weight loss. That's absolutely fine. But the kicker is your body is a reflection of your lifestyle. So all of those small habits that you choose to engage in that work for you, not particularly somebody else, is what's going to determine what your outcome is, and your body, the body image, how you think when you see yourself in the mirror, and also just your lifestyle in general. So we are going to work on developing small behaviors so that we can celebrate small wins in between. Nobody wants to think that, I can only celebrate when I've reached my end goal. Everybody wants to feel good in the interim and work on those things that are going to help you be better every single day. So when it comes to you determining whether or not this challenge is something for you, I just want you to ask yourself a few questions. So the first one, and the biggest one, are you happy with your everyday lifestyle choices that you make? I'm going to assume that if this is something that you're willing to or wanting to participate in, that the answer is no. If you're not happy with what you do every single day, determine what your goal is, determine what you want to achieve. And that's going to help you figure out which habits from the guidance that I give you is what you're going to choose to get you to that next step, to a place where you can ultimately say, yes, I'm happy, I'm making the right choices, I'm making the right decisions, and that's going to get me to where I want to be. The second question is, are you willing to work hard? Now, every challenge you do, you're always going to have to work hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I will give you all of the tools that you need, but I can't do the work for you. I think sometimes people think as soon as they signed up to the challenge, that's it, magic pill, work's done, I'm good. That's not how it works. Like I say, I give you everything you need, but you need to implement it. You need to utilize it, and it is hard work. It's a fucking process at the end of the day, but you need to be willing to do it. And it's not always going to be highs. There is going to be ups and downs. That's progress. Progress is not linear. We don't just do something and it goes up and up and up and up. We do take dips, but we do have a group of motivational people involved in this challenge so that you can help and inspire each other. But you need to be willing to put the work in. You need to be consistent. You need to be persistent. And yeah, I can't just give you the results as soon as you sign up. So ask yourself, are you willing to put in the work and to do what you need to do to really achieve? Because remember, the lifestyle, habits and choices that you make now, if you've got bad habit choices, they didn't develop overnight. They're also not going to be reversed overnight. So it is going to be a process. You are going to have to put the work in, you're going to have to put the hours in, you're going to have to put the effort in, and you are going to have to be patient. So after the very long-winded introduction, what does this challenge include? So first things first, it includes a workout program. It is a 12-week workout program that you can do either at home or at the gym. So you can choose which program that you want to follow. The at gym program is pretty self-explanatory. There is a lot of resistance training and using weights and machines because you have access to all of those. For the at-home program, this is usually more suited for people with barriers to exercise, such as family commitments and lack of equipment, or if you're not a member of a gym, and if that is generally just something you prefer. With the at-home program, it does tend to be a little bit higher intensity because it is more body weight stuff at a higher pace. I will give you a list of equipment that I recommend you do buy. I think if you can get some light dumbbells and stuff like that, it does help to be able to implement some resistance training in that, and that also brings the intensity down just a little bit. So you pick and choose which program that you want to do, and it is in 4-week blocks. So you will have 3 4-week block intervals where the programs will be relatively similar, focusing on progressive overload, and then by week 5 it changes again, and then for the final 4 weeks it changes again. That way, as I said, you can monitor progressive overload, which just helps ensure that you are continuously getting results and that you are not just stagnating with your training. Now, the 12-week program is generic. Everybody will get the same one. However, there is lots of progressions and regressions for each exercise so that it can be tailored to you specifically. For example, if you have an injury and you can't do a squat, I will offer you an alternative exercise that you can do that will suit you a little bit better. But that will also come in the group chat and on the platform that I use for the workout program, so that you can reach out to me anytime so that I can change that for you, just so that you don't have to power through and struggle. I am here for guidance all of the time, anytime you need me. So I use an online platform, and you can download an app, and I will just sign you up with your email address so that when you access the app on your phone, it gives you your full workout. You will have a video demonstration. Most of the videos are myself. Sometimes I use the app's preloaded videos, but either way, all of the technique is down exactly how it should be so that you can see exactly what you need to do. And there is also written instructions. Sometimes people are visual learners, sometimes people prefer to read what they need to do. So the list or bullet point of everything is just the cues that you need to focus on to make sure that your body is in a good position when you perform all of the exercises. There will also be prescribed reps and sets, so you know exactly how many of each you are doing and how many sets that you are doing. It is also structured, for example, it might be A1, A2, and that just basically that tells you that that exercise is a superset. So what a superset would be is you do the first exercise, and then without rest you go straight into the second exercise back to back, then you rest after that, and then you would repeat. So you'll find for the gym program everything is pretty much in supersets. That just helps with time efficiency. It helps you to mix between muscle groups quickly, and yeah, it just helps you get a nice sort of higher impact from your workout, higher intensity result from your workout. For the at-home based program, you will see it's mainly circuit based, and that's just where you go boom, boom, boom through all of the exercises and then back to the start and repeat. It does vary throughout, but that is basically just a rundown of what you can expect in those workout programs. But like I said, if there's something on there that, you know, confuses you, doesn't quite work for you, then please always just reach out. I am always available. I will jump on, I'll record some videos. I will give you alternative exercises. Please let me know if you do have injuries, either via the platform or via WhatsApp, which is what we use for the group chat. And I will work around anything to make sure that it's specific to you and really works for you. Next, we have a recipe pack. So in the recipe pack, there is close to 100 recipes for you to choose from. There is a calorie breakdown of everything. You will see the carbs, the fats, and the protein content, if that's something that you want to focus on. Now, I do not do a food plan. So if you are wanting me to do a food plan, then this maybe is not the challenge for you. Now, purely based on one, I am not a nutritionist or a dietitian. I am not qualified to tell you exactly what you need to eat specific to your body, because you could have underlying intolerances or something that I am not qualified to work with. But also, what's really important to me, I find when you give somebody a specific diet plan, or just, a generic diet plan, should I say, I could literally just give you what I eat in a day. There's a few problems with that. My output and my input is very different to what you do and what you need. So something that works for me might not necessarily work for you, because I might eat 500 more calories than you need, but I also might eat 500 calories less than you need. So it's not specific to you and your needs at all. We have very different body metrics, you know, different age, different height, different weight, different goals. So that's not going to work for you. But also the second thing, what I eat, you might not necessarily like. So I could literally give you the standard bodybuilder's diet: chicken, rice, broccoli, white fish. You know, you might hate all of that. And then if you do that and eat nothing but that for the next 12 weeks, is that going to be sustainable? Is that something that you're going to maintain in the long run? Probably not. So why I like to do more of a recipe pack is because that way you can pick and choose what you need and how it fits in with your goals, and just making sure that you actually enjoy what you eat so that it is more sustainable in the long run. I focus on calories. Now, so for this challenge, you will be counting calories. Again, I know that scares a lot of people off. I'm not saying that is something that you need to do in the long run. I don't recommend that in the long run, but it is very important that you educate yourself around food, specifically around portion control with food. Just because something is healthy doesn't mean it's calorie free. At the end of the day, your results, if your goal in particular is weight loss, it's going to be you need to consume less than you burn. And if your goal is to put on muscle mass or something else, or to gain weight, then you need to consume more than you burn. So you need to be aware of what you're putting in your body and what is in your food. So I think it's a really, really good educational tool to count calories, just so you can kind of get a gauge on what you actually are eating. Like I say, it doesn't need to be long term, because the more you work with it, the more you get to gauge portion control just by eyesight after you have sort of weighed and got that base at the start. So yeah, for the purpose of this challenge, you will be counting calories. If your goal is weight loss, then you will be working in a deficit. If your goal is to gain weight and build a bit more muscle, then you might be in a bit more of a surplus. I will give you all of the tools you need. I will give you a calorie calculator. That way you can input your own personal body metrics. So your age, your weight, your height, your current activity level, what you do for work, all of those things are included so that you can determine the most accurate calorie number for you and your body. And then you can go away and you can include the foods from the recipe pack or your own recipes that fit into that daily target. I like to focus particularly on the protein intake. Carbs and fats I'm not too worried about. I think they fall into place, but for purposes of muscle growth and recovery, I think protein is very important, and I think it's good to make sure that you are hitting that calorie target to ensure that you do hit your individual goals. So yeah, in a nutshell, basically what this is about, it's about educating you around the choices that you make. I don't believe in restrictive diets. I don't think that when you jump on this challenge, I don't want you to cut out everything that you love, because that's just not sustainable. The results I achieved in 12-week challenge, if you saw my post, for example, would you believe me if I told you I ate chocolate every single day? Because I absolutely did. But it's about portion control. It's about how much of that you eat. If I tried to cut out chocolate, which I love, for 12 weeks, then after 12 weeks, I'm just going to binge, because it's a restrict and binge, and then it's a vicious cycle. So it's not about restricting the things that you love. Sure, you might need to make some changes if every single meal you eat is not nutritious at all, and it's not something that's helping you get towards your new goal that you want to achieve. But like I say, it's just not about fully restricting. It's just about enjoying things, but maybe just enjoying less of them, and just educating yourself what your body needs, and just including the things that you love, but just doing it in a smarter way. Next up, we have the content pack. So in this content pack, there is close to maybe 200 flashcards. Now, these flashcards have a whole heap of different things on them. So basically it ranges from educational information, so it might be the different impacts of stress on your body, or impacts of caffeine on your body. Now, don't be scared, I'm not saying don't drink caffeine, but it's just how certain things that you do every single day can impact your results in the long run. So lots of informational content that has been done over years of research, and it's took me about 2 or 3 years to get this pack together, and I am always adding to it. You'll also find that during the challenge, sometimes I'll add something new to an old, flashcard when there's new inspiration triggered and stuff like that. But there's also lots of lifestyle change challenges. So it's kind of like mini challenges in the big challenge, and they are all geared towards lifestyle change. So things around screen time and water intake and all of those sorts of things. So lots of informational content. Every day I share something to the WhatsApp group, as we have 2 WhatsApp groups. One is just a chit chat one, but I'll explain that a bit later, and also the content one where I share everything, and then I talk around the points. So you'll also find lots of sort of motivational and inspirational quotes and stuff in there as well, that I do like to talk about, and just to keep you inspired. It can be a bit of cognitive overload, learning something new every single day and focusing on a new challenge every single week. So sometimes it's just a motivational post, something for you to read, sit back and think about, does this relate to me? Is this something I need? So yeah, there's a whole heap of information on there, and it is lots of valuable stuff as well. So you can really learn a few things from the content. And last up, we have the group chat. Now, this is the most loved and most favorite part of the challenge, based off all of the feedback from all of the previous challengers. So in this, we have 2 group chats. They are both on WhatsApp. There is the chit chat group, and there is the content question and answer group, which I did mention earlier. So for the content question and answer, only I post in there. It is all of the content that I share with you daily for the challenge, with all of the informational content. If you feel like there's something that you want to discuss, I would recommend you just forward it to the group, and then that way everybody can get involved and chat about it. The reason I do the 2 separate groups is because as conversation starts flowing, if I put it in the chit chat group, then it might get lost off, and you might miss out on some of the valuable information if you haven't been active for a little while. That was a lesson learned from the previous challenges. Anyway, chit chat group, this is where the community is involved. So everybody loves this, because at the end of the day, you are on this challenge because you need a push, you need some motivation, you want to make some changes, and sometimes it can feel like you're doing it on your own. Now, that is the only downfall with an online challenge, because obviously everything is online. I am not physically there to motivate you. And sometimes you just need a bit of motivation from other people, don't you? It's good to know that there's people that you can relate to. It's good to know that, sometimes other people struggle, but what can you guys do to help lift each other up, to help inspire and motivate each other? Quite a lot of the time I get messages saying, I really wasn't motivated today, but then I saw so-and-so in the group were doing this, and they got their steps in, and blah, blah, blah. And it just really inspired me to jump up out of bed and get it done. That's what we're looking for here. Sometimes when you don't feel like doing something, people in that group chat will give you a reason to do it, whether it's, some healthy competition, or whether it's just sometimes having somebody to offload onto and have somebody to relate to. So that is why everybody loves the group chat, and I just absolutely love the community vibe. I don't expect, but I encourage, should I say, you to, throw in your workout selfies, throw in the exercise that you hated the most from today's workout. What about the exercise that you loved the most? New recipe ideas. People are always looking for inspiration. So yeah, that's just what that group is there for. It's just to go by you every day, show us what you're doing, show us where you're walking today, show us what kind of coffee you're drinking for the day, and yeah, just really get involved with each other and just see it as some sort of community vibe, which is really motivating and inspiring. So basically, yep, that is everything that is included. Now, I was totally off script here, so chances are I've probably missed something. If there is a question that you have and I didn't answer it in this video, please feel free to reach out and ask me anything that you need at any time. Actually, one thing I did forget. We do progress pictures as well to track your measurements. So on the PT platform app that I discussed earlier, there is a place for you to put in your metrics, so all your weighing and measuring, and upload your progress pictures. Now, these are very, very important to do because that is the best way to track your progress. Sometimes when you think you're not there mentally, you feel like you haven't worked as hard, you feel like you're not seeing results every day because it's impossible to see every day how your body is changing. So put everything on there. Every 4 weeks we reassess, we do our measurements, we do our pictures, and that is how you track your progress. So yeah, that will be on the app as well. But in a nutshell, you get your workout program, 12-week block. You can choose the at-home version or you can choose the gym program. There is progressions, there is regressions. Reach out to me anytime if you have any injuries or you need any alternatives. I can record a video for the group as a whole, or I can send something more specific directly to you if you prefer. You have the content group, which is where all of the flashcards are. There is lots of informational content. Like I said, it's took years to accumulate the information. I constantly add to it when new inspiration is triggered and inspired. I will talk about those points every single day in that content question and answer group. You have your recipe pack where there's close to 100 recipes that you can pick and choose. You can adapt to suit your needs if there's something in there that you don't like or there's something that you want to add. If you need to add more calories, take less calories out, whatever it is. You will have your specific calorie target that works for you and your body based on your exercise level, your age, your weight, your height, what your goal is, all of those sorts of things that is tailored to you specifically. And we have the group chat where whole community comes together and we can talk about just everything and anything. It doesn't just need to be fitness either. You can create some good friendships in that group. So yeah, that is pretty much everything. And if you have any more questions, please let me know. But I do look forward to seeing you on the challenge. It's going to be a good one.